Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope it is a beautiful day or evening, no matter where you are out there in the world. It is a gorgeous freezing afternoon here in Montreal. We are in the winter time when you're watching this video, but today we're taking a minute out of our workday, a few minutes out of our workday to talk to you about our 2021 Instagram hashtag strategy. So this is going to be a part 2 to this video, which was one of our most popular, I think it's like our third most popular video. Craig is behind the camera. It's like our third or fourth most popular video, which broke down in depth how to do Instagram hashtag research and how to rank on hashtags. So that video still rings true. This is going to be a part 2 to that. So a bit more applicable in that way. And also because we want to show you something that we loved in that video that Instagram sadly took away, but now we have a solve for. So definitely go watch that video. It works. That strategy works. It still rings true. You can see in the comments that I'm going to share here on the screen how well that it works. But there is a key part that we want to break down for you in this video, in addition to sharing best practices for how you should use Instagram hashtags to rank higher in the algorithm this year. So Instagram hashtags, important, right?
Very.
Very important, and there's still some people out there who, for some reason, who knows, we don't know, do not use Instagram hashtags. Please, the number one thing that you need to take away from this video is that you need to be using Instagram hashtags.
Unless you're Beyonce. So if you're watching.
Sorry, if you're Beyonce, you ain't gotta use the hashtags. You're good love.
Maybe Rihanna too.
And probably Rihanna, okay? So unless you're Beyonce or Rihanna or Barack Obama or any of these massive figureheads, you need to be using Instagram hashtags. Hashtags are so key for ranking in the algorithm. They help Instagram know who you are and what your posts are so they can serve you to the right people. It gets more eyeballs on your content. It helps you land on the explore page and just land overall in front of the people that you want, whether it be in stories, reels, or in feed. And in addition to that, it helps you get more followers, because if you're doing everything right and you're using the right hashtags, you bring your exact demographic over to your profile. And then if your profile is set up the way that it should be, which we've talked about many times, lots of resources in the description box below, including your bio, making sure your bio is on point, making sure your feed is on point, and our ultimate Instagram checklist, which will also leave in the description box below. But if all your stuff is on point, when that person comes over because they found you through your amazing hashtag strategy, they will become a follower and join your ecosystem and your world, so they can become a customer or a client or perform the action that you want them to. So hashtags are so key to any real strategic Instagram strategy. So let's get into the best practices for using hashtags.
Hey guys, so we're going to be switching back and forth a little bit. So if we were to start an account from scratch, obviously we've done all these for our clients and for ourselves, but what we would want to do first to make sure our hashtag strategy is as tight as possible for 2021 is to nail down the buyer persona. So when you're making your content, when you're doing all of these different things, basically it's all kind of irrelevant unless you know who you're talking to and who you're trying to reach. So with hashtags, that's just as important, because you need to know that these hashtags are going to attract the right person for that brand and for that account. So a quick example, if you're a craft brewery in Toronto, Ontario, what you would want to do is actually attract drinkers in Toronto, but also in the greater Ontario, because they can deliver beer legally there via the mail as opposed to just driving it. So what they're going to do, they're going to use hashtags like Toronto beer, Toronto craft beer, Ontario craft beer, etc., because they know that the drinkers in that world are looking at those specific hashtags, and they're going to be quite inclined to purchase from that brewery, because if they're on those hashtags, they're looking to drink beer, and if the brewery is posting and using those hashtags, is going to be giving an opportunity for a sale there. So I'm actually just running through this quickly, just because we've talked about all of this in depth in our first video. As Tiffany said, this is kind of like a part 2 with our 2021 strategy and a fix for something that Instagram just took away. Why did you do that? So the next thing to think of is whether you should use all 30 hashtags. Yes, use all 30 hashtags. It's so key. Instagram gives you that opportunity, use it. There's nothing that they'd ever, why would they give you 30 and then be like, oh no, but if you use any more than 23, you're going to be hurt. Like it's redundant. People are pulling this out of the air. So ignore the noise. Just make sure you use all 30. Take advantage, whether you use branded hashtags in the caption and then the first comment, you're going to pop the rest of your hashtags. Either way, make sure you use it. The biggest impact on their social media reach and engagement that I've seen overdoing this, even probably more so than the daily engagement, or at least equal to that, will be using hashtags. People, they come to us with their minds blown after they use hashtags and just can't believe their reach and what's changed for their account. So please make sure you use all 30 hashtags.
Okay, so we're going back and forth. We're keeping it interesting for you guys here, okay? So the next thing you want to consider as part of your 2021 Instagram hashtag strategy is to have hashtag banks for each content category. Now, we've broken down content categories and why they're key to any social media strategy in numerous videos, but to sum it up, content categories are the topics and themes that you're going to be speaking about across your social media platforms, and in this instance, across Instagram. So you're going to want to have a hashtag bank that is specific to each content category. Map those out, and a pro tip is to do them in your notes app so you can have it there and copy and paste. There's also a few other tricks that you can do with iOS, like having like a short title. I don't know if you've seen people do that, which is kind of interesting. Basically, you use the autocomplete feature, and it's like a shortcut feature, so that's something interesting that you can do too. But what's so key is having, in terms of time hacking too and time saving, is having a hashtag bank that's specific. Do not use the same hashtags across every content category. Everything should be separated and organized based on the category of that content, based on the theme, based on the text, what's there. Do not apply the same hashtags across everything. The next part of our Instagram hashtag strategy involves the use of mixed volume hashtags. Now, we've spoken about this being a big mistake we see, which is that people are using the most popular hashtags all the time. So they're thinking, and it's not wrong to think this, where you're like, okay, I want as many people as possible to see this, so I'm gonna use the most massive hashtag, so that way it gets in front of all the people. Technically, like the thought behind this makes sense, but unfortunately that's just not how Instagram works, because depending on the size of your account and the amount of engagement you get, that will determine how you rank on certain hashtags. So for example, if you're a smaller account and you have, say, 1,000 followers and you always get about 100 likes on a post, it's very unlikely that you're going to rank on the type of hashtag that is massive, that might have 8 million uses, and where you see the top posts there having probably 2,000, 3,000 likes. It's very unlikely that you're going to rank somewhere with 100 likes per post at a typical day in something where people are maybe seeing 3,000, 4,000, or even massive hashtags where it's like 25,000 likes that somebody gets when they use it, which could be mega influencers or mega brands. So something you definitely want to think about is how you are mixing the types of hashtags so you can rank at every sector. We do not want to be the YouTubers who repeat the exact same information in every single video. So again, go check that video out where we break down the use of mixed volume hashtags. But why this next tip that we're bringing up is so key is because it allows you to see the volume of the hashtags so that you can fit into that formula of small, medium, and popular hashtags. Craig is going to take that away.
All right, guys, so following on from Tiffany's tip about using mixed volume hashtags, this next tip actually combines that with the real missing link that's been happening on Instagram over the past, I want to say 6 to 9 months at least, maybe longer, which is leveraging related hashtags. So a number of you guys, as I mentioned earlier, had commented, like literally right before we started filming, I responded to 2 comments specifically about the related hashtags. People were saying, where did they go? Well, Instagram did take it away. We never found out why they did it. They didn't really announce it. They just removed a super helpful feature for no real good reason. And it's kind of been a bit of a journey trying to find a real solution. So in the meantime, all we could really do, there was 2 main ways to find new hashtags. So you could go into the search box in Instagram, type in like say craft beer, hit tags, and then look at whatever they put in there. Now, those range, they're super varied. I just took a look now. Some of them range from like 3 million to like 300, not exaggerating. So it's super sparse. They weren't really accurate, and they were either super niche or super large.
And they require that keyword. They don't give you other ones outside of the word that you put in.
That's right. So it's not a real solution. The other way we were doing it, going to other, other brands that are similar in the same niche or influencers or whatever, seeing what they put. But imagine if you're a newer account who doesn't know a lot about the industry as far as what hashtag, because sometimes the hashtags that are used in specific industries are super random and you would never pick it. It's just become a thing online, on Instagram specifically.
100%, yeah.
So, with that in mind, we actually have a solution finally after all this time, and instead of telling people in the comments, sorry, they took it away, it sucks for all of us. Now we actually have something. So right before I tell you who that solution is and who that company is, this video is actually sponsored by this company, and I want to just point out that if you guys have been watching for a while, we've got more than 100 videos that we've released, and in that time we've only had one sponsored video, and that's not because of a lack of offers. We're getting offers pretty regularly, but we're very picky, like insanely picky about who we choose to take money from to talk about their products, because if we just go and take money from everybody and we're telling you guys about everyone who will throw a few bucks at us, what's the point? You're not going to believe us anymore. All of our reputation.
And there's a lot of not good stuff out there.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff, and we're always looking at it like, if we're going to tell our clients, because we look at you guys as that, as a part of like people that we care about, that we want you to win. We want you to actually take the value from what we're saying and use it, and then kick some butt. I guess I can't say the other word. Kick some butt at Instagram. And the best way for us to do that is to only suggest things that we would actually use ourselves or what we would recommend our clients use. So with that in mind, we've seen other similar tools that would bring up related hashtags or hashtag suggestions, but the one that we found that we really liked was called Hashtag Expert, and like I said, they have sponsored the video, so guys, thank you so much for that. So we're gonna run down exactly how this app works, and it's super, super cool. We have been really enjoying using it so far, and the way that it works and the simplicity, because not only does it fix the related hashtags problem, but as I said earlier, it taps back into Tiff's last point with the volumes as far as the small, medium, and large hashtags. So we are gonna bring up Hashtag Expert right here. That's where she is, beautiful. So it's a nice pink color app. You're gonna see it's gonna stand out on your phone screen. Now, there are a few sections to this app, but it's super simple. On this screen right here, this is the main screen that we have been using. So at the top here, you can see a bunch of the different platforms that it generates hashtags for. Obviously, Instagram is what we're here for, but you can generate hashtags for any of the others. You've got a trending page here. So you can actually search by category and also see what other people are using. So right now, it's February as we're recording this. So Black History Month is right now. So there are a bunch of hashtag batches there. There are also other banks for different things like self-love and fitness and travel and such. So they're all, that's what's popular. So you can actually search through there. But this is our real favorite way to do it. So if you're going to look at this part where you're entering hashtags, so we are going to start, what do you want to search for? What should we do?
Well, since we keep talking about craft beer, maybe we do craft
beer. Okay, perfect. So we're going to search for a hashtag in here. And just before we go any further, there's these little pink lines for a settings section. So if you're looking at through this here in the configuration, we're going to use all 30 hashtags per generation, as we just emphatically said earlier. Okay, so this is a cool one. You can actually choose the algorithm and the way that the hashtags are actually presented to you. So it actually defaults to repeated, so it actually takes hashtags that are repeated in a lot of groups, so probably due to popularity. The next one here is optimized, so you can actually have it so it just shows you hashtags that have between 100,000 and 5 million users, which is in the larger side for the way that we do it. Personalized, so you can also generate banks that have top posts that get similar amounts of likes. Just like Tiff said, if you're getting 100 likes per post, you can generate a batch of hashtags where you're very likely to rank in the top portion of them. Exact, so basically you can choose hashtags that contain the base hashtag. So I search for craft beer, it will give you 30 hashtags that all have craft beer and some sort of suffix at the end. Popular, they're the biggest, largest ones overall. Medium, now this is where it gets really, really cool. See, if you've got medium and rare, basically you've got the rare is between 1,000 and 100,000, which are really our niche and kind of our medium, and then a little on the large side, the 100,000 to 1 million. Honestly, these are the only two sections that you need to use in this app. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to go to the top one anyway for now, so I don't affect the other elements. This is the next coolest thing, the post count filter. So if you turn this on, you can actually put between any numbers that you'd like for the post counts to have. So you could go between 100 and 1,000 users if you want niche. You can drill right down here. It's so cool. And now if you choose this, it will override the algorithm side. Love that. So you've got two different choices in the way that you do it. If you've got default hashtags you want in every single group, you can put those in there. Maybe your branded hashtags or certain things you always want in a group, you can pop them there. Blocked hashtags. If you've got something that's shadow banned or something that you know you don't want to come up in your group, you can choose that. Copying format. This is super cool. This is these 5 dots right here. This is something that we always use in our first comment in every single post. We always use those 5 dots just so you don't see a big line of hashtags immediately. Love that you can do that. Copying style. So you can choose anything. If you want just regular, capitalize, uppercase, you can have it in different kind of lines. It's just super cool. So it allows you to even be funky with it and present it nice. The next section, I won't spend as much time on it, but spacer. You can put little emojis, love hearts, all sorts of cool stuff in between your hashtags if that's how you want to present it. I imagine most businesses won't, but the option's there. Now, there are 2 main ways to find hashtags. You've got generate hashtags and handpick.
This is the plug.
This is the plug, folks. We're going to show you the first part. This is not the plug. This is cool, but this is a little lazy. And it's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. So if we hit generate hashtags, what it's going to do is actually bring up some pre-produced batches of hashtags, as you can see here. So see how it's got the A up there? They actually give it ratings. There's an excellent group of hashtags that's well balanced. Now, from just looking at these, I am pretty familiar with the craft beer hashtags, and these all look pretty good. I imagine some of these are quite large, IPA, Cerveza, things like that are going to be probably too much in the large side of things, but you would probably go pretty well even if you use this. Now, sometimes they have, maybe not enough people are actually generating this hashtag bank on the app right now, so sometimes they give you likes on average for anyone else who have used them. And look, there you go, right down the bottom here, if you actually want to see how many tags they'll use. Let's see, IPA, yep, 6.9 million, and Cerveza was 8.8 million.
They would be part of your large bank.
They'd be part of the large, exactly. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the real plug. If you go handpick hashtags, this is super cool. So there's 2 different views here. So this is the first view, and you can kind of like scroll across and whatever. But this view right here, I love this. So you can basically choose your own 30 hashtags just by scrolling through here. So everything tells you immediately how many uses they've all had. So you can be like a craft beer nerd, it's got 451 beauty. What else is small? NJ craft beer, so that'd be New Jersey craft beer. So either way though, and look, this just keeps going and going. Just keeps going and going. And even as you get down further, look, these words are all to do with beer, alcohol, even though they start to get a little less, but they're hashtags that are being used on beer posts. So they're all super accurate. You can just keep going. So as you can see, there's plenty of different options here to generate the hashtag, and once you're there, you can add them to the bank and you can just copy the volume that you like, whilst it will retain all of those stylistic elements that you chose as far as the spacing and the dots and all that type of stuff. So this now solves for both the related hashtags and the volume with the small, medium and large hashtags in the one solution, which is honestly, it's a blessing. This is what we've been looking for the last year or so. So very happy with this. So how can you get the app? You can just hit the link in the description that will take you direct to the Apple App Store, so you can download Hashtag Expert. It is completely free. There is a pro version. Now, the version that we showed you just here is mostly pro features, but you can still do a lot with the free one. The pro is pretty good. The app will tell you all about the different prices, but the link is down there. It is currently only for iOS, so iPhones. I imagine it would probably work fine on an iPad or any other iOS device if you don't have an iPhone. So for those on Android or any other system, right now I imagine they're working on something like that, but if you're on an iPhone, you can get that going. The link in the description, if you hit that, that's what we want. Make sure you hit that link. We know that, as Tiff said at the beginning, our first hashtag video, I think, is our 3rd most viewed video, 3rd or 4th, something like that. So, people are really curious about hashtags. Thanks again to Hashtag Expert for sponsoring this video. Once again, only our 2nd sponsored video on high season. So, if we're talking about them, we're serious. So check that out. Let us know in the comments how you go with that as well.
And also give them feedback too, because it's a new app. And that's what I love about using new apps, is that you can say like, hey, it'd be great if you did this. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do this. That's the whole point. They need all that research and development. So
that's really, really true. If there's any features that you think that they could use, shoot them a message. They'll be able to actually implement that whilst they're growing their user base. So definitely worth getting on board early before they probably get rid of the basic feature. I imagine that's probably what could happen.
Get on it.
All right, guys, you might notice that the lighting is changing a little bit because in full transparency, we had to stop and take a meeting. But we're going on to the next part of our strategy for Instagram in 2021 with related to hashtags.
Yes.
Is that we're always going to be testing. Testing is huge. So don't just take this. We gave you this amazing app, this really cool thing that you can use. Don't just be like, all right, cool, I'm done for the year. You know, I've researched my hashtags and I'm good. I'm not doing anything else. You're going to always want to be checking your insights to see what is performing the best. There's certain categories that are performing higher than others. When I use certain hashtags, are they performing better than others? How does it relate to this photo? How am I connecting with certain people when I use this hashtag? You always want to be checking your insights to see how people are discovering you and what type of engagement you're seeing from the use of those hashtags. So definitely always be testing and reiterating. We usually do hashtag refreshes about every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
But we're always kind of looking to see like what's hopping, you know, what's the new trend, what might be hot now that we want to jump in on. And always keep your branded hashtags as well. We really recommend having branded hashtags. That should always be in your Instagram bio. Check out this video here if you want to see more on how to optimize your Instagram bio. But having a branded hashtag is key. And what's great about Hashtag Expert is that you can actually work your branded hashtag into your defaults. So that is it for today. That is our 2021 Instagram hashtag strategy. Thank you for coming to join us in this middle afternoon while we're working, which is kind of going into the evening because it's 5 o'clock. And that's how things go here over on the East Coast in warm Quebec.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you again to Hashtag Expert for sponsoring this video. Let us know how the app works for you. Please let us know in the comments below, and please share feedback.
Yes.
Share feedback with them because there's a lot of things that we're also telling them that we will love to see as well. So this is the great stage when something's new that you can jump in and start kind of molding the app in a way for yourself too, right? They're going to be receptive to a lot of feedback. So definitely do that. Hit that link so they know that we sent you. And that is it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere at High Season Co. on social media. Almost forgot our own platform. We manage a lot of platforms,
it's
guys.
A lot.
You can check out our blog post at highseasonco.com. We will see you in the next video, guys.
Peace.
Peace.